Hey, Luke, you have a product review today, right?
I do, yeah.
What you been checking out?
So I've been messing around with the Victrola Revolution Go. It is a record player, a vinyl record player. It is is what Victrola says, and I haven't been able to disprove this. It is the world's first portable record player.
Okay.
Um, so what this is it's a vinyl record player. It plays vinyl records. It has an arm, an actual needle that comes down and plays the records, but it also has an internal battery that you can charge and internal speakers. So you can charge this thing up, take it on the go, and play your records wherever you want.
Okay.
So pretty cool idea.
Yeah, it's like a little bit retro, a little bit modern.
Right.
A little bit of everything, really.
Yeah. So, and it has a couple extra features too to kind of round it out. It also has Bluetooth.
Okay.
So you can connect it with your phone, and you can play your music from your phone, from YouTube Music or Spotify, whatever, onto the internal speakers. But it also has a thing called Vinyl Stream, and this is a new thing where you can put it in vinyl stream mode and then play the record, and it will send it Bluetooth to a speaker.
So it acts as a transmitter.
Right.
Okay.
So you can play your records on a home stereo that's Bluetooth, or on a, maybe a bigger, something like maybe that Stormbox 2 that we checked out a couple weeks ago. It's super loud little Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Now the speakers in this are not bad at all. They're decent speakers, but if you want something louder, maybe you would connect to a louder Bluetooth speaker and do the vinyl stream that way.
Okay.
So this thing, it's pretty cool. It comes with a strap it's like a guitar strap.
Okay.
So you can use that included strap, or you can get your own guitar strap and put it on there. And then it has a fold out handle, so you could carry it as a handle if you want, and then another thing is the lid. So it closes up to keep all the record components safe. It has a little lock on the arm, so the arm's not moving around when you're walking.
Okay.
But you can also pop that lid off, and it has spot for 5 records. So, if you're bringing the records with you, now it won't store them in the case while you're traveling.
Okay.
But you can take that top off and have your records sitting upright.
So like little slots. Okay.
And display, what you're playing, or a way to store them, out of your bag once you get wherever you're going. So, easy access to change your record. So this thing is pretty cool. So we had a record player growing up.
Yeah.
But by the time we got rid of it, I was never really old enough to kind of mess with it and play with it, because, it was my dad's, and he was like, "You're too young to mess with it." He didn't want me to break anything. Well, found out there's a reason for that, because I don't know how to use a record player. I know the general concept of a record, right?
Never shown.
I was never shown. Yeah. So I got this thing. We got offered it, and I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. Over the years, I've collected a couple vinyls just from random things that have come out, and like, whether it's promotionals with certain albums, sometimes come with a vinyl record or whatever. So I have a handful of them, and I never had anything to play on them. And so I was checking this thing out, and it's cool. It's a cool feel. It's kind of this, I likened it to having tea instead of coffee. So when you prepare tea, it's a little bit more, or maybe like a pour over coffee. It's a little bit more of a
it's a process.
Yeah, it's a more intentional process. Yeah. And it's the same way for listening to music. I mean, now we have our playing app of choice.
Right.
Pull up any album in the world and just hit play, and you're in. Yeah. Well, this, you got to have the record first of all, and then you take the record out, take it out of the sleeve, you check it, make sure there's no dust on it, you set it down nicely, and then you get your needle, your arm out, and now this has the ability. It has a built-in arm like lower,
Mm-hmm.
so you can automatically start it, and it has auto shut off. If you move that arm, it'll stop spinning the record.
Okay.
So you it's just a little bit more of a an experience,
Sure.
and it's one of those things that, obviously if you are watching or listening to this, you've had records and mess with a record player is nothing new to you.
No.
But it's cool. It's one of those things that kind of forces you to slow down for a second, which is very kind of rare in our day and age.
And you're forced to listen to it in the order in which it was
Right.
sequenced.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you can look at a record and you can kind of see where those tracks are, as you learn how to use it. But yeah, for the most part, it's here's the album and here is the order in which this album was crafted to listen to. And then, you get into the whole idea of album sides. There's sides of the record, and as you go through the first side and then you get to the second side, maybe that sixth or seventh song is a punch up in intensity or completely different mood. It's like the second half of the album or something like that. A lot of really, kind of cool things as a music lover that I feel like maybe we don't appreciate anymore because we've kind of gotten away from that.
Yeah, it's playlist, instant, on demand, set a vibe.
Well, and almost anymore, an album is really just a collection of singles.
Yeah.
Because those singles have kind of come out as they've been recorded in the studio, seemingly. Right. So yeah, it's been a cool experience. Now this thing has 3 different speeds. So if you want to listen to, whatever type of record you have, whether it's, regular records or 45s or whatever.
Nice.
So you can play kind of anything. It also has a headphone out.
How heavy is it to wear?
It's not heavy at all.
Okay.
It's about 7 pounds at the most. So it, especially with that built-in strap, it really doesn't feel like anything. It's a plastic body, but it doesn't feel, delicate.
Okay.
Obviously it's not a thing you're going to want to drop. I don't think, I'm not saying that, but it doesn't feel like if I'm walking around with this on my side, I'm not worried that, I'm going to get wherever and it's going to be broken. That being said, a record needle is still a record needle.
Yep.
It comes with a cover for that needle, so to keep it safe during travel, but the same care that you put into a normal record player, you're going to put into this, where you got to be careful dropping the needle down and moving things around. It is a pretty standard cartridge for the needle. It's a Audio-Technica like 3600 style cartridge, which is available at Best Buy, Walmart. I mean, you can kind of get them almost anywhere, as records have kind of had this little resurgence. Yeah. And unless that's a part of your, music listening style now, there's a lot of places that sell records.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing that you thought we had said goodbye to decades ago.
Right.
And then you would only find these relics from the past, and now they're out selling CDs.
Yeah, I mean, every album that comes out, there's a vinyl available for it too. So
it's a whole thing. So what's the battery life on this thing?
So the battery life is interesting. It is, if you're listening through Bluetooth, it's a 9-hour battery life. Now that will go up to about 13 hours if you're listening at half volume.
Okay, so playing it there on that speaker. Okay.
If you're doing the if you're listening to vinyl on battery, if you're actually listening to a record, you're about 8 hours.
Okay.
And maybe 12 hours if you're listening half volume. So the louder it is, the more battery life it's going to take. But this thing will get back to a full charge in 4 hours.
Okay.
So you throw it on the charger. And the other thing is that charging cable, the power cable, has a little spot on the bottom side of the record player, a little compartment that opens, that you can take that on the go. So you don't actually have to worry about having a plug and a cord somewhere else in your bag for this thing. It's just all in one.
Okay.
The only thing you're going to have to have a spot for transport is the records themselves.
Got you.
But the record player, the cord, everything else is just in the device, and you can take it on the go. So yeah, it has a headphone out, has an RCA out. If you want to hook it up to your stereo system at home, you can do that and just use it as a regular desktop, record player if you really want to. But it does have that, wireless mobile capability.
And this thing again is called the
Revolution Go by Victrola.
Okay.
Comes in at $199.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a cool thing.
It is. It's really cool.
So now are you taking it to coffee shops and setting up and?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't done that because it's the whole idea of maybe why we don't have boom boxes as much anymore. Like people are pretty protective of open areas.
Yeah, but the music that's being piped in,
not as good as my music.
No,
I would take this on like to the park.
Yeah.
Or something, maybe to take outside in the evening when we're grilling out and hanging out outside.
Gather around, children. We're going to listen to The Wall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Luke.
No problem.